Good morning, everyone. It's a rare streaming Wednesday for me, and today we're making the big push to make BLANKA Diamond Ranked in Street Fighter 6. It's my best character. We'll see how I do. And in addition, I've seen the Asmongold react about me. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Darkside Phil, and today is Wednesday, the 28th of June, 2023, and this is the Level 1 podcast, as you can see, in full colorful festivities for today's BLANKA Diamond Rush here on DSPGaming. I'm very excited. This is a special event as I attempt to actually have one of my fighters hit Diamond rank before the end of the month. And you know, it's actually an accomplishment for me because, number one, when I started playing Street Fighter 6, nearly a month ago now, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if this was going to be a game that I was going to really be able to get into at any kind of a competitive level. Keep in mind that I had stayed away from Street Fighter 5 for the majority of its life cycle. I had only played it maybe, arguably, the first 6 months and then dropped it because I just didn't like it and never went back. Even after all the years that they tried to rebalance and fix the game, I just felt that it was a piss-poor effort and didn't like it. And so, being out of the competitive Street Fighter loop for a good 7+ years as I was, and even more so than that, because even the last couple of years of Street Fighter 4, I didn't really care for. I was playing Street Fighter 4 semi-competitively when it launched in 2009/2010, and then I played Super Street Fighter 4 and Arcade Edition somewhat, and that's when I dropped it. And there was another 1 to 2 editions after that I really didn't play. So basically, I've been out of the competitive loop of Street Fighter games for a decade. And let me tell you, it has been an uphill climb. Number one, trying to get my muscle memory, trying to get my reactions, trying to get my mindset back to a competitive mindset when it comes to fighting games. It's not that I have not covered fighting games in the last 10 years. It's that I've become a casual, right? I play through the story modes. I casually try a character in training mode and or combo trials. I'll do an arcade mode run. I'll go online and play with a character a couple of times, and every once in a while mix it up and do like a multiplayer session. And within usually a few weeks of a fighting game coming out, I'm done with it and I've dropped it and moved on. That's kind of what happens when you're a variety content creator, is that people aren't expecting you to invest an incredible amount of time into a fighting game. Well, with Street Fighter 6, it has been a call back to how I used to be in my youth and even in my early days as a YouTuber with the launch of Street Fighter 4, 13, 14 years ago, where I invested an incredible amount of time in fighting games. Although, direct comparison, no, I definitely spent more time back in the day, in those early days of YouTube. I was doing way more content of fighting games. Like every night I was doing a new Madness series in Street Fighter 4, and every weekly doing multiple online sessions of the game. While today I've done a good variety of stuff. I'm balancing Street Fighter with many other genres of games. I'm playing Street Fighter now maybe every other third day on my streams. And even then, usually it's half the day. It's not like I'm playing Street Fighter all day long like it used to be. I mean, no exaggeration. There used to be entire days where all I would play is Street Fighter 4 and I would pump out 50 match videos. Yes, 50 individual match videos, and each video would be getting thousands of views. So in one day, I'd be making hundreds of thousands of views on my YouTube channel based on Street Fighter 4. That's how crazy it was back in the day, right? Today things are very different, obviously. And with me covering the game as much as I have, yes, this has turned off a lot of people, but at the very same time, I really feel like Street Fighter 6 was the strong thing that took me through June, right? I mean, if you take a look at everything else that I did, I continued with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but let's be honest, I don't have a major Nintendo viewer base. I just don't. Do some of my viewers like Nintendo games? Yes. Is that my entirety of my audience or even the majority? Hell no. Usually when I play Nintendo games, my viewers go down for whatever reason. I guess it's that people who are of a Nintendo mindset, I hate to say it, are mostly of like a big fanboy kind of deal where you want to be in the same mindset. You want to watch other people who are constantly fanboying over Nintendo. And I'm not that. You know, I like Nintendo games. I especially love the first party. But as you know, I'm very critical. I'm honest. And I'm going to give my opinions and criticisms. And a lot of people can't handle that. They don't want to hear a criticism of their beloved Nintendo games, which I guess I understand if you really are like a tunnel vision fan of Nintendo. You don't really want to see big picture. You just want to think that they're the best, you know, and infallible. For me, I love Nintendo. But because I'm honest, you don't get that mainstream attention, you know. And there's a lot of people out there who do. So for me, Zelda wasn't going to carry me through June. You know what I mean? In fact, it was going to always be kind of the back burner game, and I knew that. Diablo, well, Diablo's been exactly what I expected. It's a game that is not riveting because it is a lot of repetitive style combat and gameplay. The story's all right. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's passable. It's meant for a late night chill stream type of game. It's never going to hold interest as a daytime stream because there's nothing too groundbreaking about it. It feels like the same formula as Diablo 1 and 2 did, which is perfectly fine. You know, we haven't had a mainstream Diablo in so long, but, you know, I knew it wasn't going to go crazy. It wasn't going to have a high attendance. It wasn't going to have high interest. I just knew it. And now Final Fantasy 16. This one was one that I didn't know what was going to happen, simply because I didn't follow it at all. I had no prerequisite knowledge of Final Fantasy 16 going into the game. And now that I've played it for a week, here's what I can tell you about the game. They went in a different direction with this one, for sure. Man, did they go in a narrative direction. And quite frankly, I do feel they went too much in a narrative direction. My major criticism of the game right now is that there's just too much narrative. I want to play the game. I want to add something to it, and it's hard to do that when half the time or more that I'm playing it, I'm watching a cutscene. And it's one thing if the cutscene is critical to the game, but yesterday when I played it, it was 2.5 hours of boring-ass, meaningless cutscenes that were filler content and really added nothing. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Then I had 30 minutes of amazing gameplay that blew me away, and I'm like, why couldn't that have been the 3 hours I played today? Why did I have to sift through 2.5 hours of boredom to get to a half an hour of great action, right? So, in regards to this month, we essentially had 3 different kinds of RPG, right? And they were all completely different, but none of them, quite honestly, really held enough mainstream interest to really, you know, to be honest, support a streaming channel. It was really Street Fighter 6 this month that brought butts to seats, that brought people to the streams, that brought out support, and that allowed people to see for the first time in many, many years that I can actually play fighting games. Some people have actually started to say nice things about me, and I couldn't believe it. If you actually read video comments and stuff on the Street Fighter videos, they're like, wow, this is kind of interesting because taking a look, all you see online are the negative montages about Phil. But if you actually watch his raw Street Fighter gameplay, you will actually see he wins more than he loses. He's got good reactions. He's actually learning the game. He's got combos. He's got mix-ups. He's doing the things essential to be good at a fighting game, and he's improving. So the shit that they put out is not representative of the real gameplay because they're trying to basically make him look bad. But in reality, if you've been following DSPGaming this month and you've seen my journey from being incredibly rusty and incredibly covered in cobwebs when it comes to the competitive nature of fighting games, and to see my evolution from that to basically now, a month later, where I'm actually starting to feel comfortable again. That's actually really where I feel the change has come. You know, when I first started playing this beginning of this month, I was, you know, nervous. I didn't know if I was going to be able to put out entertaining videos or even beat anyone online in this game. And we went from that to now at the end of the month, I'm actually feeling comfortable when I boot up Street Fighter 6 playing a game. I'm like, whoa, I'm feeling comfortable playing competitive fighting games. That's weird because it's been so long. You know, today I'm going for diamond rank with my BLANKA. And that's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be tough-ass matchups and things. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I'm excited because I'm going to get to implement all the things I've learned. Last night, I watched a few more videos, and I actually learned one particular thing that I'd really like to try with Blanka in the corner, like an overhead mix-up. That looks pretty interesting. And I'd like to try that because that's going to give me more options in the corner than I've had previously, you know? So I'm excited, obviously. I know that you guys are because, you know, this is something cool to see me kind of have an evolution, right? And I hope, fingers crossed for the best, that we can actually hit diamond rank today. That would really be nice. I don't know if we will or not. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. As long as we make some progress and or we all have fun and it's entertaining for you guys and I learn a bit, that's what it's all about. But maybe I can actually hit diamond rank today. And if I do, sure, that would be amazing, right? So what a journey it's been. And this whole month, you look at the big picture, what June was, it was a month that was weird and up in the air and didn't know what to expect. And man, it ended up being a really, really good month. And I'm happy for that. And I'm actually excited for the future because if Street Fighter 6, if I keep playing it at this rate and you learn new characters, but I'm sticking to good characters that I'm doing well with as well. And, you know, it could be a part of my rotation regularly. I'm cool with Street Fighter Fridays. I just know that there's going to be new games that come out on Fridays and we won't be able to do it every week. But Street Fighter Friday is a cool premise where maybe on the first stream I try a different character I've never used before. And then on the late stream, I jump into characters that I have used before and try to up their ranking and stuff like that. That's a cool idea. You know, every Friday it's Street Fighter. Could be neat. But anyway, what I would like to say is thank you to those of you who have been here for the month of June and who have supported my efforts to become better and or jumping back into the competitive nature of Street Fighter. And obviously, thank you to those who have supported everything I've done. Because again, going into something that I'm not necessarily comfortable with and not something that people are used to seeing me do. I used to be known for this. I had a whole Street Fighter channel. DSP Street Fighter is a channel I had 2010 to like early or late 2011, 2012, like a year and a half, 2 years, a channel that was only fighting game coverage, where I played fighting games a lot online and everything, and that's what I was known for on YouTube. And then I basically fell off the face of the planet and stopped playing competitive fighting games because I didn't really like what was out there. I didn't like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I didn't like Street Fighter 5 when it came out. Like all these, you know, things I didn't invest time in, and I just kind of lost my reputation for being known for playing fighting games. Of course, the funny part about all that is that just because I didn't play fighting games, anything known about me playing fighting games was completely rewritten in history as people decided that I would be the whipping boy of the internet and that they would make This Is How You Don't Plays constantly to make fun of me. All of a sudden, the entire history of me being good at fighting games was erased. I never was good. It all was a farce. The placing at EVO is fake. All those tournament wins after EVO don't count or didn't happen. He never ran tournaments. He never made YouTube videos that anyone liked with Street Fighter. None of that happened. No. Phil was always a scrub in Street Fighter and his terrible player, and everyone should make fun of him. Well, isn't it funny now that now I'm actually playing Street Fighter 6 and doing well? And now they have to struggle to make their fucking bullshit compilations of only the moments that I get rage and not the entire, 3-hour segment of Street Fighter. Let's edit that down to 20 minutes of me being angry because I dropped an input or, some bullshit happened and I got upset, right? Not representative of the whole, but that's what they have to do because, they're scumbags who are trying to prove an agenda to get a laugh rather than actually being representative of the truth. So things are definitely changing for the better, in my opinion. I'm happy to bring fighting games back to the forefront. And the cool thing about this is, Street Fighter is always going to kind of be the game that was my foundation and the game that likely I'll play the most of is a fighting game. But we always have other things as well. We've got Mortal Kombat 1 coming up in September that I'm going to check out. Not to say that I'm going to get competitive in that game, but obviously, I think people now will like to see my opinion on it a lot more because I'm actually playing Street Fighter actively, right? And the same thing when Tekken 8 comes out. It'll be exciting to jump into those. So it's definitely good stuff. And I want to say thanks for a great month, right? It's been a great month. And today, I tried to basically have it come to fruition here by getting Blanka to Diamond Rank. That is my goal for today's main gameplay stream, is to just play with Blanka. I may do 1 or 2 casual matches just to get the little bit of rust off. And I want to try 1 or 2 quick things in a competitive match. But outside of that, then we're going to jump right into ranked. And, about 2.5 to 3 hours of ranked play. Hopefully I can get my Blanka from 5-star plat up to diamond. Would be amazing if I could. If I don't, well, again, not the end of the world, but it would be great if I could, okay? So we'll see how that goes. That's the main stream today, all right? I guess what we'll do, let's go through the schedule briefly so you guys know what to expect for the week. And then I want to talk just a little bit about the whole Asmongold thing. And then we'll get to, you know, shout-outs and Q&A and the usual rigmarole. Before we even get into everything, so guys, today and Friday are my last 2 streaming days of June. July actually starts on Saturday. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this has been a good month overall. However, as you might have noticed in the last week, we had a significant decline in memberships. And because of that, you know, the amount of revenue that I'm going to make this month is going to be a severe, sharp decrease from what I made last month, all right? This is fine. It's not the end of the world. But if you were thinking of supporting DSPGaming, either today or Friday, a great way you could do that would be to become a member, to re-up your membership if it has lapsed, or to consider gifting some memberships to the community. Particularly today and Friday, I'm playing Street Fighter 6. When I play Street Fighter 6, we actually have more people on the streams than we usually do. So it would be a great opportunity if you wanted to help out not just, you know, this channel, but the community at large, your fellow viewer, and those who enjoy the content as much as you do. This would be a great opportunity to consider gifting some memberships, all right? So thank you in advance to anyone who supports this channel, and I'm hoping maybe we could bolster some member numbers in the next couple of streaming days before we hit the month of July. Now, not to say it's the end of the world as well if something happens after that fact, because, for example, this coming Sunday, we got a marathon. Typically, during the marathons, we do see a good amount of support come out for the special event. And you might say, well, maybe it's coming then, so what's the big deal? Well, honestly, the big deal is anything that I make between now and Friday, I get paid for in July. Anything that I make in July, I don't get paid for until mid-August. See the difference? So, yeah, if we have like a rallying today and Friday, that's going to help me out in July a lot, and that's going to be great for the summer month as opposed to having to wait another month and a half. So, there you go. That's why I'm talking about it now. So, thank you very much, guys, for even considering it. All right? Let us now go to our schedule. Today, as I said, it is the Diamond Rush of BLANKA and Street Fighter 6. My one goal to get BLANKA to Diamond rank. I don't know if we'll do it, but man, I'm going to try hard and we'll see what happens. Tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it will be a session of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We have just arrived at the Lightning Temple, all right? And this Lightning Temple is the 4th and final major temple in the game for the main plot. After this temple is complete, apparently you head into the end game content. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can beat it in one sitting. I have not had a temple that lasted more than 2 hours in the entirety of the game so far. So I think it should be fun. These are some of my most fun parts of the game. They're innovative, they're interesting, they have cool final bosses. So I'm excited to see how it goes tonight. Hopefully you'll join me for that. Tomorrow I'm off. Finally my day off after a 7-day streaming week. So I will not be here, but I hope that you guys would get caught up on all of the content and things that I put out over the course of this week. Thanks in advance to anyone who watches. If you watch, please consider liking the videos and leaving comments. Yes, I've noticed a dip in engagement. And I don't know if it's because I played so much Street Fighter this month. In which case, yeah, if you're watching a fighting game video and you're into it, you probably don't have that much to say. As opposed to if you're watching a narrative-based game, maybe you want to comment on the story, you want to comment on something going on. In fighting games, there's not much to say. So I've noticed that comments have dipped a lot. It would be great if I could get some likes and comments on videos during my day off. That would help a lot to help engagement for the channel, okay? When I come back on Friday, it is Street Fighter Friday. So, first stream, I'll be picking a new character in Street Fighter 6, and I've decided who it is. Should I announce it now, or should I just wait and build suspense? Let me put it this way. It's a character who I've wanted to play with since the beginning. But being, well, a few things. Because of a few reasons, I held off on using them. Okay? And I feel like they were good reasons. And I think that now that I'm finally getting to this character, it'll be fun and make sense. And you'll understand. But I basically have purposefully not used the character by design. Alright? But anyway, this Friday, I will pick a new character I have not yet used in the full version of Street Fighter 6 and use them on that first stream. Go into, their guide, go into some combo trials, and then use them online and see how I do. Okay? There you go. All right. Then on the live stream on Friday, it'll be another multiplayer session, but this will be characters I've already used. I'm kind of leaning towards Lily and or Marisa at this point, only because Lily I haven't used now in a couple of weeks, and I think I was actually doing pretty good with her when I used her. Marisa, a character again that I was doing good with, and the thing is, I'm using so many characters that it's really hard to keep up with each one. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, well, you're gonna use Chun-Li more? Hey, you're gonna go back to JP ever? You're gonna use Honda? Like, well, if I keep doing that, you know, yes, I'd like to do that and learn more about each character, but then I'm never going to really get good with a certain cast of characters who I felt like I've done better with. So I kind of need to eventually, every once in a while, go back to those certain characters. So we'll see what happens Friday night, but it'll be a multiplayer stream, okay? Saturday is React Day, so it's going to be DSP versus the Internet on the first stream. That's my weekly Clips React show over on DSP Reacts. Saturday night is going to be more Diablo 4. As we head into Act 4 of the game, I now have my mount, which is really cool. And we'll see what happens there. Sunday is the big marathon event, folks. It's finally here. I know it seemed to have been a long build-up, but it's finally coming this Sunday. It is DSP's Digital Summer Party on Sunday, July 2nd. Please mark your calendars. Please be here if you can be here. It's going to be a very exciting day. We're going to be doing so much variety of stuff that day. There'll be some special festivities in order. There's going to be a live gaming schedule update where we're going to go through all the game release dates from now to the end of the year and decide which games I should play at launch and which I should play later and which I'm not going to play. We're going to be doing some multiple tier makers. One tier maker will be like American Fair Food, and another one will likely be like ranking maybe Street Fighter characters. We're going to be doing some Street Fighter 6 gameplay during the day for variety. There's also going to be some food from my wife, where she's going to be making 3 different recipes that we'll be taste testing during the course of the day. There'll be some booze, I'm sure, and something else perhaps that I'm going to speak about in a few minutes. So I don't want to jump the gun yet, but I want to talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so we got a lot going on this coming Friday, this coming Sunday during the Digital Summer Party event. I hope if you can, you'll join me here, and we'll have a great time together on Sunday, all day long, all right? Then on Monday, we're going to get back to regularly scheduled streaming, and just so you guys know, it's a 6-day streaming week, so I'm going to be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all 3 days will be normal streaming days. Monday will be Final Fantasy 16 paired with Zelda. Tuesday will be Street Fighter 6 paired with Diablo. And then Wednesday's up in the air. It could either be more Street Fighter 6 or Final Fantasy 16, depending on what you want. And the night stream will probably be more Diablo. And that's the streaming week. Now, coming up in July, I'll be continuing on, balancing all 4 games that I'm currently playing. Once some of those start to wrap up, namely, it looks like Zelda will finish first, then we'll look to other stuff. Would you like to see me actually do more World Tour mode in Street Fighter 6? Because I've only played it for 3 hours and never went back to it. Or maybe would you like to see me jump into a new game like Amnesia the Bunker? We could decide what you guys want as we get further into July. What I can tell you is that in the second half of July, there will be an exciting event, all right? Excuse me. There will be an exciting event where I'm going to be covering my history with Machinima and reacting to a Machinima documentary that was just released by June the King. So it's going to be half reacting and half me kind of telling stories about my history with Machinima in the over 6 years that I was a partner with them. I'm going to have some things to reveal for the first time. I'm actually going to go through all my Machinima emails that I've saved from over the years to reveal critical information about working with this company. I actually have like swag and collectibles and things as being a part of Machinima for as long as I was. So all this is going to be a special day of Machinima. I don't know what we're calling it yet. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about the funeral of Machinima. We've been talking about Machinima Bash Fest. I don't know what you want to call it. You know, Machinima doesn't exist anymore for a good reason. They were run horribly by horrible managers. And that's really why they fell apart at the seams. I don't know what to call it, though. We're kind of thinking of a name. If you guys can help me think of a name for this special event, I'd definitely like to get a catchy one so we can start promoting it for late July, okay? Machinima's Requiem. Interesting. Machinima Madness. Machinima Ex Machina. DSP's Mach Enema. That's disgusting. A Machinima Enema. Mach Enema. Machinima Exposed. How about Machinima Requiem for an MCN? That's very overdramatic, isn't it? I don't know. Well, let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. But it's going to be a special event in late July. It's a long-form React event, meaning it's going to have a lot of content for the React channel. For the first time in months, that channel will actually get bolstered, which will be very nice to have that. And it'll be a fun thing to do, to break up the content of the summer, for sure, okay? So that's coming in July. Now, everything else coming up, I can't really tell you yet, because we need to see what goes on with the games I'm playing and how long they take to get through. And we go from there. Also, like I said, during this Sunday's marathon, we're going to go through the game schedule and actually see what games come out when and decide what are the games you guys want to see more. And that'll help me to determine my schedule coming up, as opposed to me just speculating and being completely wrong, because I actually don't know what games are releasing when yet. But we'll look at that together on Sunday, okay? I will tell you this. The end of the summer, so we're talking second half of August into the very early September, I'm going to be doing a series of very special celebratory events to celebrate my 15 years as a content creator on YouTube. That's right, 15 freaking years. I've been here daily putting out content for people on the internet. And we're going to go down memory lane, man. We're going to be doing a retrospective event where you guys will be nominating moments from my past, and I'll be watching them back live. We're going to be doing a retrospective fully on Project 7, where I watched the entire show from start to finish. And this time I added perspective, because last time I did this many years ago, I had not watched the John and Howard video about me from 2015. Now I have. So now I have a lot more to say and a lot more to add, with the big picture now known of what was actually going on behind the scenes. Because I think what you'll find is those guys' attitudes changing completely, knowing what we know now. When the show started, they were all gung-ho. Halfway through the show, these guys basically didn't want to do it anymore, but weren't saying a word to me. And it kind of is interesting, and it kind of shows, I feel. All right? We'll talk all about that, all right? But that'll be fun. It'll be a fun retrospective event in that event, but also some retro games where I'm going to be going back and likely playing some games from my past, which I've never actually done full playthroughs of. Maybe I could do Saints Row 2, which was one of my earliest playthroughs ever. How about I go back and I replay Fable 2, which again was actually my first full-length playthrough that I ever did on the internet, but actually redo it with a modern audience and everything. Or maybe play some retro games and stuff like that, right? So I feel like there's a lot of fun stuff that we could do to celebrate my 15th anniversary. In addition, how about we do a special tier maker? Get this. Me rating all of the games that I have previously in the last 10 to 15 years said were Game of the Year or the runner-up, and now ranking them against each other to see what games have stood the test of time and what is the ultimate game that I've played over the last 10 to 15 years versus what are the games that didn't age well or age like milk, I guess, and really aren't that good anymore. That's going to be a special, fun, interesting, unique tier maker as well. So, I'm excited for this. I hope that you guys are too. It should be a great idea. It should be a good, fun thing to do over the course of a couple of weeks there, leading into my fall gaming season. That's going to be very, very busy. That's why I'm trying to get that done, say, in August and early September, because once the new releases start hitting in September, it's like nonstop, and there's no way we can do those things then, okay? So, good stuff coming up, right, everyone? Hope that sounds good to everybody. All right, outside of all of that, I'm just trying to think if there's any other housekeeping things I want to talk about before we get to the other topic I want to talk about today. I don't think so. All right, so the other topic I want to talk about is that a couple nights ago I was playing Diablo. And as I was playing Diablo 4, a topic came up with the audience, and the topic is as follows. Hey, Phil, why don't you play these new releases more? Like, for example, when a new game comes out, why don't you play it like a marathon 2-3 days to get as far into the game as you can? A lot of the other streamers, your contemporaries, actually beat new releases within 2-3 days by playing them in a marathon setting, basically. You know, they're playing it, some of them are playing 13 to 18 hours a day and getting 40 hours into the game within 3 days. All right? So this opened up a discussion on the stream about how I handle new releases, about how it fits into my schedule, and how, you know, how set my schedule is, you know what I mean, for as much as I stream, how you know, dependable it is, but the fact that because I adhere to that schedule, that a lot of people feel like it holds me back from covering new releases more. But then during that discussion, what came up was that, well, in particular, there's a few streamers who do it way differently, and one of the names that came up was Asmongold. That I guess when a new game comes out, Asmongold will actually like really dedicate himself to playing the game for 3 or more days to try to get through I think the game that came up was Diablo, that he had played like the main story of Diablo within 2-3 days. It was done. So now when he plays the game, he's in the post-game, end-game content that's considered the best content of the game, and people are excited, as opposed to, here I am, I've been playing Diablo for over 3 weeks, and I'm still in the campaign. I'm still in I'm in Act 4, right? And it opened up a discussion about it, and I was talking about, well, it's about work-life balance. If I only play games for 3 days, I mean, I'm not getting sleep, I'm not seeing my family, I'm spending no time with my wife, I'm not living up to my end of the bargain as a life partner, doing chores, and you know what I mean? Like, how unfair would that be? And, you know, it was an interesting discussion, but the fact that I even said it during when I was saying it during the segment, I said, so you guys are literally name dropping Asmongold, likely because you're trying to get drama stirred up. And I know that likely what will happen is all this will be taken out of context, right? And because again, it's about me. It's supposed to be about discussing me and how I cover new releases and why I cover them the way I do, as opposed to how others do. This is not me attacking others and their methodology. It's me defending my way of doing things, right? I said, but I guarantee you this will be taken out of context. And, you know, we went a little bit further in because people were like talking specifics about Asmongold. I'm like, well, I don't know the guy. I don't watch his content. I don't watch his gameplay. I know very big generalities about him, and that's about it, you know. So I talked a little bit more for like maybe I'd say probably the discussion lasted 10 minutes on my Diablo stream, right? So, of course, what happens? Literally exactly what I said happened. My haters / detractors took the segment, clipped it up, completely cut out the part with context. So when you watch their version, there was no discussion about me covering new releases whatsoever, and there was no criticism being thrown towards me saying that, oh, why don't you play those games more at release like others do? Instead, it's spun to make it look like I'm saying that others are doing it wrong, and the way that I do it is better because now I have a work-life balance, so my methodology is better than yours because I have a life and you don't. In reality, if you actually watch the raw footage, that's not the discussion at all. It's completely the opposite. I repeatedly say, anyone could do it in any way, it's all fine, but this is why I do it my way. I'm trying to tell you why I cover games the way I do and why it works for me, but another thing might work for someone else. And in fact, I outright said in the segment, when I was younger, I used to cover games like that. It was incredibly unhealthy. I'd be sitting in my room for 18 hours, recording, constantly uploading, eating fast food because I didn't have time to cook, you know, and I was the most unhealthy, unhappy part of my life. I'm glad now that I have a better life, that I don't go back to those methods, right? So, again, in context, the whole thing makes sense. And you can see that I'm not insulting anyone. I'm not going out of my way to name drop anyone. It's literally an organic discussion with my audience. But taken out of context, which is all that my scumbag haters do, the whole thing does look like it's a slam piece against others. Like I'm slamming everyone else out there for doing things a different way than the way that I do it, which I did not. Okay? So basically what happened was, well, of course, one of my haters made a video like that, and all of my haters sent it to Asmongold and said, hey, because Asmongold does a whole segments of his streams where he reacts to stuff that people send him. So they said, hey, react to this, react to this, react to this. All right? So he reacts to it, and it's about 20 minutes of him reacting to the clip. Now, of course, he's only reacting to what he sees, not to the whole conversation. So I agree, out of context, the conversation, it's made to look like I'm insulting others for doing things differently of how I do it, which is completely the opposite of what the discussion was, okay? But if you watch it, all right, basically, he's like, well, number one, if you play more games, or if you play more of a new release at launch, you're going to make more money. So if you play the hell out of a new release game at launch and you get through it, then you can take days off later in the week to spend with your family. And isn't it better to have entire days with your family than half days? Okay? It's a good point. You know, that's a good point if it makes sense for a certain scale. All right. And the other points that he makes are basically like everyone has a right to do however they want. But then he actually, it's funny because some of the things in the video he outright laughs off and agrees with. He's like, yeah, Phil, you know, he's not entirely wrong. Some of the things he's saying are actually good points, right? Not to say that everything that I said he agreed with, but essentially, here's the deal. Asmongold is a level-headed person. Unlike a lot of people who have seen clips out of context about me over the years, he did not go to the extreme. He did not flip out. He's basically watching this clip. And it's funny because if you watch the full react, you get to the end of it. And at the end of it, he literally says this. He goes, so let me get this straight. This is a hate video about Phil. It's literally made by his hate watchers. That's what I'm watching. It's not his stream. I'm watching a hate watcher video. That's what you guys sent me. He goes, and this stupid video has 500 comments on it. And he cracks up. He goes, damn, what a ridiculous situation that these hate watchers literally just watch this guy to make shit like this and then act like it's something it's not. And they 500 comments on a fucking worthless video. And he even says, why did you send me this? Why did I even watch this? There was no point. There's nothing to this video. It's a waste of time. It's obvious bullshit, right? He's smart. He's fucking smart. He saw through the bullshit. He's like, what a dumb thing, you know? But that's the sad fact, is that's the majority of stuff on the internet about me is that. It's people always spinning it to be something it's not, to take it out of context and misrepresent me. Asmongold's smarter than that. So he was able to look at it and be like, wow, it's just stupid bullshit. Anyway, here's the deal. I just summarized, all right? What I would like to do, and this is only if you guys would like me to, and this is up to you. What we can do is during this Sunday's marathon, I will do a live react to the Asmongold react, in which case I can add the entire context to it. Meaning, instead of them cutting out half the fucking conversation, I can explain what the full conversation was, how it was in context, right? We can do that. It's up to you, though. But we don't have to do it. But I'm feeling that's the best time to do it. Because I was thinking about doing it on Saturday, but I was like, no, people want me to watch the clips that they submit for DSP versus the internet. They don't want me taking up their time to do another random clip that's unrelated, right? So, it's up to you if you guys want it or not. But I think live reacting to what he's saying makes a lot of sense. Because the truth is, a lot of what he's saying is completely good and makes sense. If you're watching a video that's out of context, I'm not surprised he reacts that way, right? Look, I'll give you one example, okay? When he says, well, if you just play a new release a ton in the first 3 days it's out and you get through it, you're going to get more views, you're going to get more money. That's actually not true. I'm just being honest. It's not true at all. It used to be. For someone like me, back in the day, when I was a popular YouTuber or streamer, it was. Today, it doesn't matter how much I play a new release at launch, I'm not going to get extra views and I'm not going to make extra money. There's been cases where I play a new release more, or I even go late on a new release stream and I do it, nothing happens. There's no increased benefit for me. And I can explain that in detail as of why and all of that in a live react of what he's saying. But I would like to do it all in one concerted place rather than say me do it now, but that, you know, then people are just going to clip it. I'd rather do it in my own video this weekend. That makes sense, all right? So it's up to you guys. If you want it or not, let me know. But it wouldn't be too long. I mean, his video is 20 minutes long, so at most my react would be probably like 30, 40 minutes long, and it wouldn't be a bad thing for the variety of the marathon to kind of throw it out there during the day. Plus, I'll be drinking. I'll be nice and loose anyway, so it should be a good thing to do, right? So there you go. But let's see what you guys want. And again, if it's everyone's completely, utterly against it, we don't have to do it, all right? But I'm curious, you know, about if you guys would like to see something like that or not. We'll see. All right? So we'll think about it over the week. Okay? Okay. So, let's continue, shall we? That's all I have to say about that for now. I'm happy. Let me put it this way. I'm happy. And I will publicly say thanks to Asmongold for not overreacting and or reacting in a way that would cause drama. I think he did completely the opposite. He acted completely level-headed. He laughed at stuff and took it as a joke, which I'm glad he did. There was no malice intended in anything that I said towards him whatsoever. I even said a million times in that discussion there was none, even though idiots want to try to spin it that way, you know. And I'm glad that he got something out of it for his show as well. Good for him. And, you know, thanks for not being a jerk like so many people have to me on the internet. There's so many people who, they see an out-of-context clip like that and immediately they, oh, DSP's an asshole. He's a piece of shit because he said this and this and this, when I literally didn't even say it. Like, I literally didn't even say that shit. It's all out-of-context nonsense that makes me look like a villain, and then they believe it's fact, and that's how most people hate me, because they see everything completely, you know, spun or fabricated in a way that's not true. So thank you for being a level-headed individual and covering it fairly. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. So moving on. That's really all I've got today. There is no real gaming news or anything going on today. Let's go ahead and let's do some shout outs. All right, get this going. And then we'll see where the stream takes us, where the show takes us, the podcast, right? Okay? All right, here we go. So, and by the way, I'm just going to get rid of this troll right here. There we go. Cool. Shout outs on the YouTube side of stuff this morning. We start off with Brian27, who re-upped his membership for a whole year. Thank you, Brian, for a year of support here on DSPGaming. I really appreciate that. Enjoy your crown that should be encrusted. No, hold on. Your encrusted crown was 6 months. At a year, you've got the regal crown. That's right. You just earned yourself the regal crown in the chat. Congratulations, Brian. Thank you for that support. Very nice. Ruffle Bozo 11 did a super chat. He says, Diamond today, let's go. Thanks for the stream, Philip. Well, you are welcome. Although it's weird that you call me Philip and you spell my name wrong. But thank you for the super chat. No one calls me Philip but my mother. Thank you very much, Raffle Bozo, for the super chat. It's only one L. A lot of people don't know that, but my name Philip is only spelled with one L. Yes. Okay. All right, continuing on. Okay. We got some tips from this morning that came in. Our first tip of the day is a $29.99 tip from a gentleman who goes by the name of Game Tracker. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play the $20 animation because he wants the Street Fighter animation. However, we have a new animation that is now on the streams. It is for a $30 tip. It's between $30 and $49.99. If you do a tip of that range, you'll get the new animation. Or if you do a $25 super chat. So $30 tip or $25 super chat, brand new animation. It's Diablo related. It's really good. It's actually one of the best animations I have. We've only seen it once, and it was a couple days ago. So if you tip that amount, you'll be able to see a cool Diablo animation. I hope that you will consider it. All right, so what the hell is that zero? Starting at $30. Here we go. So, Game Checker says the following. A round of applause and appreciation for the gift of Geef that you so graciously bequeathed upon us this Monday. I absolutely counted that Rage Quit as a win in the Google Doc. Perfect parry into highlight moment seems like a true combo, I gotta say. If you don't know what he's talking about, there were quite a few times playing with Zangief that I did a perfect parry against Honda's headbutts, which then led either to a reversal spinning pile driver or like a little mini combo. I think what I need to do is focus more on the mini combo and how to do it better, because I only did it like once, but the 360 I seem to do every time. But I'm going to try to do more of that today with BLANKA. It seems like if you perfect parry, there's basically an open window opportunity to get a big punish combo. And I need to practice a little bit with that and see what I can do with it. Okay. As for today, what I have to say is this is what I want to see. Now that you know how to do how to complete BLANKA's juggles, you should be all set for today's big push to Diamond. Best of luck. That being said, I think I have one more little tip for BLANKA. Another move of his that I never see you use is the overdrive horizontal ball. So BLANKA has different BLANKA balls, different directions. The horizontal ball will be the one that goes across the screen horizontally. So he's talking about the overdrive version that uses your drive meter, okay? It is essentially a faster heavy punch horizontal ball, complete with the same flight distance and safety on block. There are probably use cases for such a thing. Maybe not many, but still. Also, you get a free juggle after it, such as a vertical ball. So that would be even good for you to remember if you ever use it. It seems to me like for mix-ups, perhaps, like a Hail Mary, full screen, overdrive BLANKA ball. If it happens to hit, you get a follow-up combo, which could be pretty nice. I actually believe if it hits, you can do level 3. I think I saw someone do that yesterday. That was just like full screen overdrive BLANKA ball. It hit, and they just turned around, level 3 super, and it did like 50% damage, which is pretty crazy based on one random full screen hit. I think you can actually... No, you see, I don't think you can combo it because it's too slow. If it has the same speed as the Fierce Punch or Heavy Punch BLANKA ball, it has too much of a startup. You cannot combo it. because it would be cool if you could combo it because that is a follow-up after it hits, but I don't think you can combo it. It's more of a Hail Mary mix-up move, so. Okay, thank you very much there, Game Tracker, for the first tip of the day and the comments. Now, I also received a $6.66 tip from Game Tracker, and this one is important. This one is actually very important, all right? Because, again, it applies to Street Fighter 6, but it's something that happened yesterday, and everyone should know about this, especially if you watch or play Street Fighter 6. There is a big game bug that has been detected in the game that Capcom already has acknowledged is a game bug that was not intended, and they need to fix it. Are you ready? Here, let's see what he says. So, Game Tracker tipped. He says, time for a bug report. Did you hear about the throw break bug that has been discovered? Yes, I did, but he's going to elaborate on it, okay? If you hold down back on the joystick or button input, medium kick and the two heavies, and then you tap a shortcut button. You might say, well, what does that mean? So there's a shortcut button that's made for modern players. If you don't know, this game has two control schemes, classic and modern. Classic means you have to input everything manually the way you would in an arcade or in a tournament, but modern has input shortcuts, where you have a shortcut button that's used, and when you push directions in that button, it'll give you mapped moves, like a special move like Shoryuken out of nowhere. You don't have to do any input, just forward in the button, you get Shoryuken, okay? So basically what people have discovered, if you go down back and you press medium kick, medium kick, heavy punch, heavy kick, and the shortcut button, so it's 4 buttons together and down back, the game essentially allows you to break any throw, except the command throw, but any throw attempt, but then if they don't throw, you still block. What does that mean? What it essentially means is you could be in the corner, blocking low, and if someone tries to walk forward and throw you, it will never work. You will immediately escape the throw. If they try to mix up and instead do a low attack, and you guessed, oh, I thought that they were going to throw, so I'll throw break, you're safe. You can block anyway. In a normal game, that's not the case. In a normal game, you essentially have to guess. Okay, you have to say, are they going to throw me? Are they going to hit me high? Are they going to hit me low? Or are they going to do a drive impact? Those are like the 4 things you have to think about when essentially you're playing Street Fighter and you're in the corner. So you have to guess or react to what they're doing. With this strategy, you don't have to react. You just hold down 4 buttons and down back, and you never can get thrown in the corner. So it basically eliminates the threat of ever being thrown, which is not intended. So Capcom already said, we're aware that it exists. We didn't mean for that to happen, and we're going to fix it as soon as we can, but we'll have more details as soon as possible. So what sucks about this is if there's a tournament or whatever, people could be using it and you won't know. And there are tournaments scheduled between now and EVO. EVO's in about I think 4 or 5 weeks. So if Capcom doesn't fix this between now and EVO, you could have a ginormous national major tournament where throws are completely ineffective because of this game bug. And that's not good. Okay? Now, will it affect my gameplay today? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to use it. Even though I know it's in there, I'm not going to use the exploit as well as I easily could use it. I'm not going to. I'm going to play legit and earn diamond legit today. Even though I know I could avoid all throws and it would be cheap as fuck, I'm not going to do that, okay? I don't know if my opponents will be as honorable. It very well could be that every time I try to throw someone today, they will throw break immediately. In which case, if you see someone who every single time I try to throw, they get a throw break, they're cheating. And there's not much I can do about it. It's a game exploit. It's not supposed to be in there. Capcom outright said it shouldn't be in there. But people are going to use it. That's how people are. They're fucking tryhards online. And so I guarantee we're going to run into people who are abusing the game today because it was discovered yesterday and posted publicly, and now people are going to be using it. All right? Anyway, so continuing on. Capcom has stated they're aware of it, they're investigating, and will fix it ASAP. In the meantime, yeah, that's not good. I feel like probably it won't affect your experience too much today, but we'll have to see. Oh, no, I guarantee it will. I'm serious about that, too. Like, I guarantee you, we're going to fight people who all of a sudden magically break every throw. Without fail. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take advantage of them. Because I saw a technique last night where you can do a dash cancel headbutt, which is an overhead. And if the overhead hits in the corner, you can do a combo. Guess what this technique would not do? It would not stop that because you're blocking low or you're breaking a throw. Okay? Those are the two things it does. What it doesn't do is stop an overhead. So I'm going to be doing dash cancel overhead to people in the corner, and hopefully that'll lead to a punish combo and the technique won't work. So we'll see what happens. I hope it works. All right, and we'll see. It's something new that I want to use that I learned from watching videos last night. I have to practice it a little bit, which is why I'm thinking I want to do a casual match or two today before we jump to ranked, just to give it a shot because I've never used it before. And I'll try it out and see what happens. All right, but I'm excited. I hope today we do well. Thank you very much, Game Trekker, for your tips there and your support of Street Fighter as usual. Now I received another tip, but I don't know what it is. Let's take a look. This is hilarious. All right, this is hilarious because I have to address this because it's so stupid. Someone tipped $1 and says, you always say things are out of context, but all the clips about you are legit uncut clips from your streams with no editing whatsoever. You have no clue what context means, do you? Like, what you said in the tip is so incredibly stupid. It's remarkable how dumb you are to say that on my stream. Like, I'm not going to address it. Do you understand what context is? Context does not mean someone edited a clip so you're saying something you're not saying. That would actually be like dishonesty. That would be like, for example, cutting up audio clips of someone saying a swear word they never said because they took little blips of things they said and edited it together to make it sound like it or something, right? That's not what I'm saying. Have you no idea what context is? Context means in the capacity of making sense in a line of discussion, something means one thing. But if you pull it out of that line of discussion, it means completely something else. An example here would be the Asmongold discussion. Number one, I never brought up Asmongold. A viewer did, right? I didn't know anything at all about Asmongold and his situation of streaming or what he played or anything, right? At all. That was someone bringing it up as a reference saying, oh, Asmongold's like that. So I'm taking someone's word for it. It wasn't a name drop. I didn't drop the name. A viewer did, but that's not in the clip. The clip cuts that part out where I'm reading off what the viewer said. That makes it out of context. That's not fair to me. Also, the line of discussion began when people were saying to me, Phil, the reason that people aren't really following along these RPG playthroughs is because you take too long to play the games. If you spent 3-4 days just playing these games as they released, then maybe you would actually get somewhere because you get really far into the games and get through most of them in a few days, and a lot of streamers do that. That was the discussion, and then my discussion was, well, here's why I don't do that. Because I have a work-life balance, because I have a schedule, because I'm a variety content creator that juggles multiple games. I would upset a lot of people if I only played one game for 3-4 days straight. Like, that was the conversation. In context, it makes sense. If you cut that whole early conversation out, all it sounds like is I'm criticizing others for doing things differently than the way that I do it, and I'm trying to say that my way is perfect. It's not. It works for me. It doesn't mean that it works for everyone else. But again, it's about doing it in context. And if you cut that out of context, it sounds differently than what it is. So I can't make you understand the concept of context, but your tip shows you have no idea what it is. And the fact that you just think that someone takes something that I said on a stream without editing it makes it truthful or makes it meaningful or makes it that, oh, so you said that, so therefore we didn't make anything up. It just shows how dumb you are. Yes, if you take someone out of context on purpose to make them look bad, that's disingenuous, and that's misrepresenting the person. You're a moron if you think otherwise. Fuck you. Okay. Raincoat, could you please relax? Raincoat, there's going to be plenty of Street Fighter 6 gameplay coming up after the podcast ends. Please relax. Some people are, oh, I don't want to hear any of this. I just want to see BLANKA. Then why are you here? This is the podcast. There'll be plenty of BLANKA once the podcast ends. I promise you this. What's going on, Airhead? How are you? Wrong. Drew Diligence says, oh, it wasn't edited. It was a 15-minute clip with context. Wrong. Completely wrong. It was an edited video with detractor shit edited in. Stupid, embarrassing clips and things that I've said over the years edited in. Completely taking out segments. It didn't have the entire early discussion about why I was talking about it. It didn't have the part where the viewer mentioned Asmongold. It cut all of that out. You're a liar. Enjoy your permanent ban and don't come back. Boy, you're stupid. Okay. All right. So let's change the subject, since I'm tired of talking about this, and I'm not going to address idiots all day. I'm just not. You know, I'm not spend enough time on morons and they're idiots. But this is the thing. This is what they do. Because now they feel like, oh, they're getting attention on my stream. So now you'll have a bunch of morons coming in and trying to talk about this, despite the fact that they're in the wrong. It's bullshit what they did, and this is what they do all the time. And then they try to, here it comes. Here comes the moron defense force. Oh, no, that's not what happened. It was totally in context. No, except that there's edit points, except that it literally cuts out entire parts of the video, but fuck you. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. The facts are the facts, all right? So I'm not going to waste time talking about it anymore. And if anyone else brings it up, oh, well, bye-bye. So what else would you guys like to talk about? Please tag me in the stream chat, and let's have a little bit of Q&A discussion today. And, of course, if any other contributions come in, I would gladly shout those out and have a conversation with you as well. What are you guys up to? Double M says, any plans on releasing Final Fantasy 16 tips or Super Chat animations? I don't make the animations. I don't have the capability to do so. I don't have editing software, none of that. So if someone were to make one, yeah, I would consider putting it into my rotation. Right now, we have animations for Street Fighter, Diablo, and Zelda. We don't have Final Fantasy. So yeah, I would like one, but that's up to someone if they want to make it, okay? What will I be drinking? I assume you mean on Sunday. I don't know yet. Tomorrow, I'll be out with my wife, and we'll go to the liquor store, and we'll see what they have. I mean, in previous months, I've had gin, and I've had tequila. I'm thinking this time around I should do something different. Like I was thinking maybe some whiskey or something like that. Then again, I'm a little nervous about whiskey because whiskey typically gives me hangovers. So I don't know if I want to be taking a bunch of whiskey shots. I have to see what they've got. See if there's anything, you know, on sale. We'll take a look. But it'll definitely be something interesting to take shots of during the marathon for big contributions. How was my morning wake up? My morning wake up was fine. My morning was Jasper waking me up by kneading the bed. Trying to wake both me and Kat up at the same time around 9 a.m. Typically, I get up right after then anyway. That's it. Like Jasper is the ultimate biological clock, right? If I ever forgot to set my alarm, it wouldn't matter. Jasper wakes me up anyway. He loves to get up at the same time, so. Thank you, Mango. He says, happy Wednesday. It's hot, so stay hydrated. Oh, yes. I always stay hydrated, especially during salty, adrenaline-filled Street Fighter 6 sessions. I got to stay hydrated, right? Local Nomad said, could a Street Fighter 6 Battle Hub get a nice stream in the future? You know what's funny? A lot of the achievements in the game and the kudos, a lot of the things in the game that count towards like progress actually are from the Battle Hub, which I have not used once. Since the game came out, I never used the Battle Hub. Why? Because I used the Battle Hub in the beta, and when I did, basically what happened was people were abusing it. Like the chat can constantly be disgusting insults and shit, and there didn't seem to be a way to stop it. Like there didn't seem to be a way to block that in the Battle Hub. And I was like, well, I don't want to just see nasty spam and gross shit against, you know, stuff while I'm playing the Battle Hub. So I really didn't care about it. I just wanted to play the game online, and I've just used their standard matchmaking service. But maybe we could eventually try out the Battle Hub just to see what it's about. See, the thing is, I feel like one of the main features of Battle Hub is taking your avatar and fighting other people's avatars. But my avatar doesn't have any abilities because I've only played the story mode 3 hours. I feel like if I get into the story mode and I got my character's like a crazy build, a mix of different combinations of things from other fighters, then maybe I could do Battle Hub. But I need to get to that point, and we've not used the story mode at all, so there's really nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? Abdullah says, I like Cammy, but I find her extremely hard to use because of her combos. Will I be doing trials and things with her? I would say eventually, yes. I would think eventually I'm going to use every character in the game. Now, it's going to take time because now at this rate that I'm playing, I'm really only using 1 new character a week. So far, I've used 10, and there's 8 more to go. So it may take me a while to get around to using every character, but basically, you know, I'm in a situation where I can't constantly be using new characters, but also improving in the game. I never will. I'll never get better if I only use a character once and then I'm using another new character and another new character. So I do need to kind of focus in on what I'm doing, okay? And I hope that you understand that. I hope that makes sense. But eventually I would think I would get to Cammy, right? Well, let's see here. Jay Kuma says, play Battle Hub to learn matchups without the risk of losing points in ranked. Yeah, but you could just do that by casual playing. It's the same thing. You don't need Battle Hub. Battle Hub is a nice thing that they threw in there for like a social interaction while playing the game, but it literally doesn't add anything. You see, it's just there for the sake of kind of being there, right? Is Honda still my highest ranked character? Technically, yes, he's still in Diamond because I've never touched him since I played him the first session. So he's still in Diamond. Unless they get, I don't know. Do people slowly lose rank if they don't play? I don't know how it works in this one. In previous Street Fighter games, that has happened. Where if you don't play enough, you don't maintain your rank, you get demoted. I don't know. I don't know if that happens or not. No, there's no rank decay in the game so far. Alright, so he must still be Diamond then. What's my next milestone for another emote? To my knowledge, and this is me, you know, I believe the most members that I had was like 1,300. Here, I can tell you right now. I can actually look that up. So if I go over here, where would that be? Memberships. And I have to go to, I think it's customized perks is where you go, I think. Oh my god, now it's not loading. Okay, yeah, customized perks. Here's the emotes, or they call them emojis here on YouTube. It says, no, see, that's not right. It doesn't say. Here's the problem. Here's how YouTube works. Basically, when you start on YouTube, like every 10 members, then every 25 members, then every 50 members, you earn a new emoji. At some point, and I don't know how many it is, you need 100 new members to earn a new emoji spot. We got to the point, all right, where I had 26 emojis. That's how many we have on DSPGaming right now, 26. And at that point, we needed to earn 74 more members, and we would have unlocked the next emoji spot. But I don't know what that milestone would have been. Maybe 1,400 members? I think that's sounding right. Because last year, we had so many gifted members in the fall. We were up to like 1,300 memberships. Okay? That sounds about right to me. So I think right now we're at 500 something. So literally, we would need like 870 members gifted to the channel or earned. I don't know where we're going to get 870 memberships earned. But we would need that many to hit that 1,400 milestone, and then we would unlock the next emoji slot. So that's how it works on YouTube. Sadly, I can't confirm that because it doesn't say. They don't give you that data. It's pretty stupid. Is it Elon Musk's birthday today? Well, happy birthday to the richest man in the world who has everything. There you go. Oh yeah? Jex Gaming says he's playing AEW Fight Forever. It was released this morning. It's really fun. Good to hear, but I'm not interested in it, really, in the wrestling stuff. I didn't even buy the new WWE game this year, so very unlikely I'll be getting AEW. Just saying. Should Eagle from Street Fighter 1 make a return in Street Fighter 6? Last appearance was Capcom vs. SNK 2. He was an interesting character in that game for a while, but eventually ended up being low tier after being used a lot in the first year of the game. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Yes, it is Blanka time today, Jade. Yes, Jade, I know you would eventually like to see Cammy or Jury. I know that those are some of your favorite characters. In Battle Hub, you can rematch infinitely, so you can do long sets. You can do that in casual play, too. What I keep telling you guys is literally there's nothing you can do in Battle Hub besides Avatar fights, that's the only unique thing there. I mean, the games you play single player are like Final Fight and Street Fighter 2 Turbo or whatever. There's no multiplayer in those, so that's nothing added. And the other things are essentially just other game modes, casual or ranked play thrown into that mode. There's nothing additional there. People don't seem to know this, though. They think it's like a special mode. It's not. It's just a skin over the existing architecture that has the multiplayer. Bloomkit did a super chat and asked, would I play the new Story of Seasons game? What is the new Story of Seasons game? Is that the one where it has the girl riding the bike or something? And it's like a puzzle game, exploration game? Because I think I remember something like that, something called Seasons from a while ago. But I don't remember. Lady L says, do I mind if people keep track of wins and losses in chat while I stream? Not at all. Go for it. People are doing it anyway behind the scenes. They're giving me my overall. By the way, I guess we should quickly recap that. People are overall counting my wins and losses behind the scenes. Here we are. Overall, as of this morning, I currently have 750 wins exactly and 558 losses in Street Fighter 6, so a 57% win-loss ratio. My Blanka ratio, I've played more with Blanka than any other character. 182 wins, 108 losses, 63% win-loss ratio. So there you go. Those are my current stats. Go ahead and track them. I don't mind. Am I going to try Only Up? Never heard of it. Bluegit says it's a farming game. It's Harvest Moon under a different name. Oh, I didn't even know about that. I didn't hear that there's a spiritual successor to Harvest Moon. Big Papa Phil says, yes, Story Seasons is made by the original Harvest Moon developers. It's the spiritual successor of Harvest Moon. Maybe I would try it eventually for a chill game. When we're looking for chill stream style games, maybe I would consider it. Sounds like something that could be good. Excuse me. Jay Kuma says you can spectate matches too in the Battle Hub while you wait for a spot to play. Honestly, it's more of a social mode. A lot of people call it a Street Fighter PlayStation Home. There you go. Excuse me. Have I ever seen a Goron other than just in Legend of Zelda? Yes, I see them all the time. But I had to speak to a doctor about that. Would I get a dog or another cat after Jasper? I have no idea. Not really thinking about that right now. Would I consider putting something on screen when I win a match so I know how many wins I've got in real time? No. Reason being, when you're in the heat of fighting, you just want to get right to that next match. You don't want to have to do counting shit. It's the same premise as when I'm playing like a FromSoft game. When I'm in a heated boss fight and I die, do I want to fucking update a death counter or do I want to run the fuck back in that room with the mindset, I'm going to kick his ass, I know what to do? Same thing, you were playing online in the set. Last thing you want to do is, oh, I have to update. I got to win. I got a loss. Oh, no, I forgot to do it. Did I win how many times? How many times did I lose? Do I have to add this? Do I have to do that? No. I just want to play the game. I just want to play it. So if you guys want to count it, that's fine. Go for it. And I'll keep running. You know, there's people who are going to keep the big picture track, but I'm not going to be doing on-screen shit. No. Have I considered starting up the game? Yes. As soon as I finish the podcast and use the restroom, I will start up the game. That will happen. But we're still in the podcast right now. Just for the record, the podcast runs till around roughly 12:30, 12:40, and then I usually take a brief break to use the restroom, and then I come back, and then we start playing around 12:45. So that's how it works every single day. Don't know if you're aware. Maybe you're a newcomer. Doubtful because you have a membership, but maybe just so you know what's going on. Okay. Why does my cat wake me up instead of an alarm? Because Jasper likes to get up early. Even though I have my alarm set, he likes to get up early, and he tries to wake me up every day via various methods, whether it's licking my face, whether it's kneading the sheets, crawling all over me, curling up in my arm and snuggling with my arm. He has this thing where he curls over in my arm and then he hits his leg over my arm like this. He has a leg casual, like sticking out over my arm. He has all this silly stuff. That's correct. Lunchmeat says the son wants his breakfast. Likely that's what it is. He woke up and he probably wants to eat. So he wants me to let him out of the bedroom so he can go get food. Why don't I lock him out of the bedroom? Because he will not go to sleep otherwise. If we lock him out of the bedroom, he just runs around the house all night long making noise. Meowing, pawing the door. He's the kind of cat, he's a social cat. He wants to be with the humans as much as possible. And if he's not, he gets upset. That's why. Jasper would not work with a sibling cat, as I just explained. Jasper is a social cat that's very demanding. His personality type is, I'm the center of attention. Pay attention to me. If anything else is going on in the environment that takes our attention away, he actually gets upset and he starts to act up. So can you imagine if there was another cat in the environment that we're paying attention to? He would be so upset. He'd be acting up. He'd probably piss and shit everywhere. He'd try to destroy the whole house because he's upset that we're not just giving him all of that attention. You know, that's just the kind that he is. Luthe says, how would I submit videos for the marathon? What marathon? There's no video submission process for Sunday. There is nothing that we're doing there. I don't know what you mean, Luthes. If you could specifically tell me what you're referencing. I've never been to his college sports game. Jade says he's now playing Jamie and loves him. Would you say that Jamie is your main? He's your big, most focused character, Jade? Jay Kuma says, what 3 characters would I like to see return to Street Fighter 6 and why? Seth. Because Seth, I felt, was an interesting character in Street Fighter 4, but I feel like he should have his own plot line now, rather than just be a part of the boss of Street Fighter 4, you know what I'm saying? And I liked how he absorbed moves, so maybe now in Street Fighter 6, he has a different moveset based on the characters in Street Fighter 6 rather than Street Fighter 4. Just a thought, that could be kind of interesting. Obviously, for me, I want the Street Fighter 2 boss characters to return. I'd like to see a modern version of Sagat or Balrog or something like that, right? That would be kind of neat. That would be my take. No, Jade, Jamie is not your main character? Okay, but you just like him. Gotcha. Tiny Dancer says your win-loss ratio is pretty good considering it's not just you playing just that game, right? You're actually playing a variety of stuff. So there you go. I got a $1 tip from someone saying, shout out to the Air Cadets from Markham, Ontario, Canada. All right. Well, I don't know what that's a reference to, but thanks for the $1 tip. Hopefully it's a genuine tip and not something that's trollish, but I wouldn't know. Thank you for the $1 tip. No, I did not make a kick. I have nothing to do with Kick right now. If you're going on Kick and you're seeing Darkside Phil or DSPGaming or anything on Kick, it's not me. It's an impersonator. If I ever decide to go to Kick, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know what my account is over there, but I have not done anything about that. Would I ever own a tarantula? I have no clue. My wife does not like spiders. I don't think she would like that too much. Lady L says, Mano is my favorite. I love her aesthetics. There you go. Dear Fly says, would you consider playing a Sly Cooper game again? Yes. Cyndia says, how old were you when you got the SNES Street Fighter 2? Oh, shit. When did it come out? 92? I think it was 92. So I would have been 10. If it was 1992, then I was 10. I can't remember if I think it was 92 because I think Street Fighter 2 came out 91 in arcades, and the port was 92. So then I would have been 10 years old. Jay Kuma says, I'd like to see Dudley and Alex return. Would be cool to get some more Street Fighter 3 representation. Mr. Puzzle says, what's your favorite breakfast cereal? Today, if I were to get breakfast cereal, probably like Frosted Flakes, or, maybe some Wheaties, maybe some Raisin Bran. I like flakes. I like the idea of flakes. Or something crunchy like Chex Mix cereal, something like that, or Life cereal, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff I like right now. Kat is still playing Diablo 4. In fact, she played a little bit of it last night, and I watched her play some of it with her rogue build. You know what's funny? So, as a sorcerer, at level 20 and 30, I got these special abilities where I could equip one of my abilities as a supplemental ability. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called enhancement or aspect. It's called something, and you get 2 of them. One at level 20, one at level 30. The most recent one I just did, I equipped a teleport, and it turned my dodge into a lightning teleport, right? It's really neat. But she doesn't get them. Like, we went into her abilities thing, and she doesn't have them. I guess rogue class doesn't get it. Is it something that only sorcerer gets? Maybe because Sorcerer needs it, but I guess she doesn't get it. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, did you know you have these? And she was like, oh, no, I didn't know. Let's go. And we went into it, and it wasn't there for her. I was like, oh, that sucks. So I get it, and she doesn't, huh? Just because she picked that build? That's kind of bullshit. Have I thought about streaming live reacts on Kick? No. I'm trying to have all my content on YouTube so that everyone knows you can find me on YouTube. It's kind of counterproductive streaming one place and being on another. I know this from the years that I was streaming on Twitch and then having my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel fell into complete disrepair. People stopped watching, unsubbed, it died. It dwindled because people were more into the Twitch than they were into the YouTube. I don't want my YouTube now to suffer and split my efforts. I'd like to have all my efforts in one place if possible. Okay. JDTV says, if I ever do try Battle Hub, try out Street Fighter 2 on the arcade machines and see how it plays. I'm sure it's just going to be an emulated version. It's likely not going to be anything they put a ton of time or effort into. Like I said, it doesn't even have online play. How many Mega Mans have I beaten? All of the originals, 1 through 8, and 9 and 10. So I've beaten all the original Mega Man games, like 1 through 10. And then the X series, I beat, like, 1 through 4 or something? One of them I didn't beat, but I beat most of those, the classic ones. And then I played a little bit of the Zero games, so I don't really know, but I played all the classic ones. Every class gets something different. Rogues will get combo points instead. Combo points are 2 other options. I forgot their names. Oh, I did notice that. Like, we looked at her ultimate, like, passive abilities. And one of the interesting things was that it said that her passive abilities, you build up combo points, and each combo point she gained, like, gave her a new ability. Like, it was, like, 20% damage reduction, 10% movement speed. Like, she kept getting those buffs the more that she was hitting people. So that's interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Rookie Debut says, do you think catering to YouTube viewers will affect your live streams? For example, your insistence on finishing a game even though it doesn't do well as a live stream. I want to make this perfectly clear. Even though I stream full time, that is not 100% of who I am as a content creator. I am a YouTube gamer and content creator. I am not a 100% full-time streamer. That's not the focus. A lot of people, all they care about is their live streams, and anything that happens after the fact is an afterthought. They don't care if their video archives go up on time. They don't care if this or works or that. All they care about is the live stream. That's not me. I'm trying to balance my efforts between, yes, a live streaming presence, but having an on-demand viewership as well. That has been a key to my success. There are so many people who watch my videos on demand who actually are members of this channel and support this channel who are not watching the live streams, and I appreciate that. And I want to keep that going. So if I 100% only cared about live streams, you're right. I might be playing a game. It's not working too well today. Well, just drop it, move on to another game that works well on stream. And if that were the case, I'd probably drop a lot more games, that's for sure. But there's a lot of factors that go into if I play a game long term or not. And it's not just stream performance. So, all right, guys. I think we're going to end the show. Reason being, I got to use the restroom before we get started with Blanka. So I figure let's end the show. Give me some time to do that. Okay? Thank you all. It's been a great stream. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Remember, we got today and Friday. That counts for June. Any contributions today, super chats, memberships, gifted memberships would be tremendous and help a ton. If you can, please support in that wet method to help out for kind of a month-end, rally here. All right? So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you very, very much for watching. And I will see you next time.